Good morning, October. Oh, you know, I just looked at the date and it went right out of my head. October 20th. After like 290 days, I think. I think we're up to 290. Cassie, why you on my mat? Chewing a bone. Ugh. After 290 days, I still can't remember the date. So that has not improved at all. It's low 50s. It's cold. It's cold for the amount of clothes I have on, which is more clothes than usual. I feel like there's a joke in there. Anyway, you know what I need? We're gonna try to do this ad lib. Try to do this ad lib. Hello, Cassie. We're gonna try to do this without notes. Yeah, I'm wearing a hat. It's crazy. Give me a second. It's a little chilly, and my mind is a little focused on being chilly. So, Niyamas. It is not always easy for me. In fact, it's not ever easy for me. Some days are less hard than other days. I'm human like everybody else. And the last couple of days have been really difficult. I have not talked about narcolepsy much on this vlog, but it is an everyday aspect of my life. And it can be really debilitating. It can be very difficult. I'm going to anatomy class. And anatomy class is really late at night, and it's not easy to change my schedule to get there. And I think the offset of my schedule is playing havoc with my peace of mind. Mondays and Tuesdays are generally very difficult days. Now, I can't remember if I said something like this earlier in a vlog. Doesn't matter. What matters is an excellent piece of advice that I was recently handed. If I was feeling particularly low and crunchy, and what I mean when I say crunchy, well, I mean there's two different things that I like to use. These are two particular staples, if you will, for gauging, for describing my emotional well-being. I use friction-y to talk about having, well, friction with another human being. Like if I feel friction-y and I don't like it. Okay, let's say somebody does something and it bothers me and I'm not immediately articulate as to why it bothers me. I might say to them that I'm feeling friction-y. This is a cue to say that there's something wrong and I don't know what it is, but I'd like to figure it out together. It's an invitation, if you will, to try to find out what it is that's causing the friction, right? Friction. And not in a good way. Then there's crunchy. Crunchy is when there's something bothering me and I don't know what it is. I don't always find out what it is. Sometimes the act of talking about it alleviates it without a need to find the actual source. So Mondays and Tuesdays, I've been crunchy. A friend of mine, I was complaining through text or video chat, Marco Polo. I said something, and a friend of mine said, very helpfully, "Do you want empathy, solutions, or tough love?" Hello, Cassie. It is a hat. I think Cassie needs a hat. And as soon as I read that reply, do you want Do you want empathy, solutions, or tough love? The idea of tough love brought a smile to my face. Because I'm a glutton, apparently. And so I said that. I said, the idea of tough love brings a smile to my face, so let's start with that. And they responded with, I think it was all capitals, do the thing, whatever it is you're trying to get done, do it. You're going to feel miserable and cranky whether you do it or not, so you might as well do it. And this was incredibly helpful. It took a little bit. It wasn't like immediate. It wasn't like, oh golly, gang, let's do it. And then there was a montage. But it helped. And I've been thinking a lot about that phrase, that sentiment. And it's true. And we can apply the niyamas to that sentiment. Let us say, for example, I'm supposed to be doing 365. And let's say there's no end to complications. Most of the complications are my own fault. I can't find my yoga mat. I can't find the clothes I put out. Batteries for my camera are all uncharged. I don't have any batteries. I can't find my tripod. Why can't I find these things? Because I didn't put them away. I have a tendency to be a little helter-skelter when it comes to my personal stuff. I don't always put everything where it's supposed to be. Everything is kind of everywhere, and I'm working on that. Piece by piece, I'm working on that, one possession at a time. But let's say I can't find any of my stuff, and I'm feeling all crunchy and cranky pants. The fact of the matter is, I want to do 365. I enjoy 365. Doing yoga outside, even with the difficulties around that, like today where it's cold. It's chilly, it's not cold. These are all beneficial things, so we can look. I got ahead of myself. So on the one hand, I want to do 365, but I have a number of stumbling blocks to get there. One of which is speech, because I'm a little chilly. I have a bunch of stumbling blocks to get there. Some type of appropriate clothing, or finding my mat, or whatever. Getting all the stuff to line up so I can go outside and do the yoga, do the video, record it, edit it, upload it, right? We can look at that crunch. I feel like I'm getting away with myself. That's an interesting idea. We can look at this idea through the niyamas. The first one being purity and cleanliness of mind and body, of action and deed. Action and deed, it's the same thing. Of intent and action. The truth is, I don't know why I feel crunchy. The truth is, right? I think I might be getting them confused. Truth, capital T truth is a yama, just like non-violence is a yama. Cleanliness of thought would be more aligned with doing yoga outside, and recording it is not in and of itself a point of friction. The friction comes in when I feel, I'm looking for good words. Okay, let's start smaller. I promise this is going to come around. I might even record this anew. We're going to keep the previous 10 minutes where I don't feel like I've made any progress at all. And we're going to keep, you think so? The 10 minutes could have been spent playing with you. Okay. Self-induced friction over the complexities of getting a 365 done are not pure and clear thought. You know that I like to use cleanliness as a way of thinking of thought and deed, not just physical cleanliness. Negative thoughts about yourself. I screwed up. I didn't plug the batteries in. It's all my fault. I'm stupid. It's not helpful for anybody. It's just not helpful for anybody. And it takes discipline to work against, or better yet, to work away from negative thought. It takes surrender to being human to make space for all of that. I still struggle to remember all 5 Niyamas whenever I do Niyama Wednesday. Cleanliness of thought and surrender and discipline are all parts of that, and I fail to remember the others. There's 2 more. Just do the thing. If you're gonna feel cranky, do the thing anyway. Feeling cranky is not as honest as I'd like to feel like it is. It's an excuse, I think. Like, there's no need for impure thoughts around not plugging in the batteries. Plug them in or don't. The same thing with stuff like losing your keys or not finding your yoga mat. Like, there's a space in there, almost a hysteresis, where the habit might be to feel disdain for yourself, or for myself. But is that really worth the calories of thought? And the truth is, it's not. We have enough on our plate with the universe, and not even the universe. We have enough on our plate with the culture and society that we're part of, and trying to navigate through all of that. Never mind creating more impediment for ourselves. The fact of the matter is, doing the thing is not going to add to the friction. It's not going to add to the crunchiness. It's really an extension of the red flag method. But I think I should amend the whole idea. More often than not, it's really a yellow flag, right? I don't want to go do yoga because it's cold outside. That's more like a yellow flag. Red flags are when you get into this other space where you feel miserable. You feel miserable, and the other thing, doing the thing that you wanted to do, the good thing, like going to the movies with friends, or eating a healthy meal, or taking a shower, or doing laundry, or sitting down and paying bills, which sucks. The thing that feels impossible to do at that moment might be very important to do at that moment. And it's really an extension of the idea of the Dojo-kun, or morals. It's easy to not steal if everybody else is honest. If you feel like everybody else is stealing and getting away with it, and you're being left with an empty till because of that, well, it can be easy to think that stealing is the answer. Sometimes when it's hardest to practice a good habit is when we need that habit the most. That's what I'm trying to say. That's when we rely on it as habitual instead of as being anchored in choice. The truth is, it's all anchored in choice. It's just that some choices are bigger and more difficult to implement than others. But it's always choice. And the Niyamas can be really helpful, at least to me, to looking at the truth of things. That's enough for me. We don't want to have any record-holding vlog entries, right? It's very, very cool. A little bit too cool. Should have on like an actual t-shirt. But I am shivering. So, thank you for joining me on my practice. Cat. It's very difficult to be a good Cassie dog. Thanks for joining me on my practice this morning. Namaste.